Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, good morning and welcome into a Thursday edition of the JP Peterson Show. We are your independent, non-corporate sports media voice here in the Tampa Bay area. We do this each and every day. For 2 hours, we talk Tampa Bay sports, and we love doing it. We're passionate about doing it, and we really appreciate you guys jumping in and all of our Petermans out there that fill up our comment section each and every day. We love you. You're wonderful. And we thank you for being part of the show. We say good morning to you, IndyCar Tim, from our Dallas affiliate, FanStream Sports DFW. What's up, dog? How are you?
Good morning. Big sports day, JP.
Yes.
Big sports weekend, because we not only have NFL football tonight, we have football, as I read yesterday. Now, I have not confirmed this, but I read as of yesterday, we have 48 straight days of football.
That's true.
So we have 47 starting today, and I get that's college, that's pro, that's everything. That is incredible.
College and pro. No.
Plus, the Stars open the season, the Lightning open the season, the Habs, we'll see what they do. But anyway,
We
the
can't
big
play,
topic, Lightning.
we can't play like popular music, right? We get copyrighted, but when we go Thunder, that AC/DC song,
right?
is our come out song is, and we have this new on ice camera that we have the Thunder kid that comes out before the game to that song Thunder, the AC/DC, it's just going crazy. Yeah, it's so you've not been to a game here. Oh, dude, our open is unbelievable. So we've added this. That's the only. Yeah, are we allowed to do that? Oh my, it's so good. And the place is just. And the kid comes out, and he's got the stick, and he comes to center ice. Now we got an on ice camera. Wow. It's going to follow him around, and it looks up into the crowd, and it looks so freaking cool. So you'll see a lot of new bells and whistles tonight that we're dropping out on opening night. That's the only one I'll give you. It's the only one I'll give you. So get in your seats early. The show will begin half hour. Well, we typically start about 45 minutes before. We start doing stuff. Greg Wolf comes on, does a little informational stuff, and then we have pre-skate. Warm-ups come out, and then I come out and do my pregame show, and then we get into the really good stuff. Not that the pregame show isn't good; it's great, but then the really good stuff comes on, and that's the light. We have special edited videos ready to go. That we always do on opening nights. We'll have a special guest doing the hype tonight. Can't tell you who that is, but we'll have that. Then we throw the Tesla coils. It's definitely not me. We need somebody. We need a big star, not just a big forehead. Now you know why I wear hats all the time. And then we have the Tesla coils, where we it's like the Frankenstein thing, and then the lightning goes out into the. This is why we won the Stanley, baby. Has the best game production in all of NHL. And then, and I'm skipping a few things, but then, these are the main things. And then the Thunder kid comes out with the flags, and then he comes to skates to center ice, and he's like, Thunder to the music, and the place is just going bananas. And then it's big Thunder, place goes wild. Then we go into another hype video. It's the best. It's the best. It is so literally the best. We won the Stanley. And then the puck drops, and it's just mayhem. It's just mayhem. And it's just live hockey is just, for me, I love my football and all that stuff. But, man, live hockey is something else. I will say, because I was just in, that atmosphere last week at Doak Campbell Stadium. To me, big college football game is the number one most exciting venue for me.
Yeah.
Big college football game. The Open, the FSU Open is as good as any that we do. I think. Right. I'm a little prejudiced.
Sure.
But with the what, I'm going to send you a couple of videos, and we'll throw that out there.
Heck yeah.
So I think college football is the best. And then next to that, I'm getting pro football. To me, I think the Bucs do actually a really good job of their Open, because they edit a different Open every game for the pirate ships out in the bay, and the
Right.
Gaspar, and then whoever our opponent is it's a pirate ship with a 49ers flag on it, and then we pull up alongside of it. We fire the cannons, and the cannons are going off. The players are running out. So I think we do a really good open for a professional game. I think it's one of the better ones, but awesome. I still don't think it has the emotion of college football. So that's good. But I think, for me, that the hockey is second to college football in terms of our open, the game presentation, the speed of the game, the comfort level, because you're inside a beautiful arena. You got all the comforts there and the video boards, and we're constantly doing fun stuff there during the breaks, music. I mean, there's never quiet. It's never quiet in the arena ever. Every moment is taken up by, there is no dead air. At least if there is, we did something wrong. Somebody pushed the button.
Right.
So, just looking forward to the show tonight. Looking forward to, seeing a new Lightning team in a lot of different ways. By the way, Brian Bradley's going to join us at 10:30 live from Benchmark International Arena. And so we'll get all the latest on what's going on with the lines and who's going to play tonight. There's some interesting options for John Cooper, so I'll be interested to see what he does tonight. Yesterday they had we're going to have to come up with a name for this line, this gigantor line that we had yesterday. Douglas, Connor Geeky at 6'4", on one wing, Douglas at 6'9", 245, and then Jack Finley at 6'6", 230. That could be our fourth line. Now, Geeky's he's a top line, first or second line kind of talent. But if you want to go with that line, that gives you not only, I think, a lot of skill there with Finley and Geeky, but, Douglas is just going to wreck people. We brought him in from Utah. He's never played an NHL game. He's 6'4", 245 pounds. He's an enforcer. And a lot of, fans have been talking about this for 2 years. And people ask me this all the time. We got to get tougher. What are we going to do? We're going to get tougher. We got to get bigger. We got to be harder to play against. And I think there's been some resistance on that from Julien Brisebois. Where's the Pat Maroons? Where are the grit of the Corey Perrys? Those guys, those pain in the ass guys to play against that we won cups with. There's a lot of people that kind of feel that was missing, and I might raise my hand to that as well. And I think this is kind of a nod to, okay, we because of the Panthers. I think the league's going away from that clearly. And the Lightning were the best skating team last year. I mean, their numbers were off the charts. The top scoring team in the league last year. Defensively, they were top 5. Power play top. Everything was in the top 5 or 6 in the entire league. All the main stats: power play, penalty kill, scoring, goals against, all that. They had a phenomenal regular season, 100-point team. They just ran into the best team in the league, and it's a bad matchup. It's been a bad matchup because they push us around. And the NHL lets them get away with it. Dirty stuff all the time. So at some point, and you can't build a team to face one particular team, because then what happens if you don't face them? That don't work. So I get that part of it. But at some point, you got to have it available. And I think that's what we've done here. So now, Cooper said this yesterday. He said about Douglas, this big 6'4" guy. Said, I've seen him on tape, the things he does and the physical attributes he has and the way he can influence games. But until he's right here, we don't really know everything he has. But from all reports and what we've watched so far, it's somebody we wanted to bring in here. He continues, it's tough when you come in the first time you meet with the group is the day before a game. So I think his head's spinning a little bit. But for us, that's our job, to make him feel comfortable. Like I told him, nobody's being judged on the first practice or the first game. He's going to have time to fit in. We can judge what's going on and then help him along. But I don't read anything into the practice on Wednesday or whether he plays Thursday or whatever it is. This is hopefully a long-term thing. So he was one of the final cuts from Utah. I mean, the guy's not, super skilled dude, but he brings something that this team just hasn't done or had in the past couple of years that They need to be a little grittier and a little bit harder to play. You know, a healthy Bjorkstrand and a healthy Yanni Gordon, neither one of those guys were healthy last year when they got here. Yeah. We expected a lot more, and they just didn't really deliver. And I think, Yanni was coming off the sports hernia, hadn't played in months, and I don't think he ever found his legs and was just not the guy that we've seen before. Now, is that old age or was that injury? We're going to find out, because he's fresh now. And, Bjorkstrand is now, recovered from that emergency surgery where if he didn't get to the damn hospital, he had some kind of blood clot in his thigh or quad or some blood clot's the wrong term, but something going on there. And so he's ready to go. So how is this team different? Well, that's how they're different. These two guys are healthy that we brought in at the deadline, and they're big acquisitions. And they're not Seth Jones and Brad Marchand, which the Panthers brought in and were huge reasons why they won the Cup last year. But we haven't seen what they're able to do. Bjorkstrand, it probably will be on the new power play in the bumper spot. We don't know exactly. I think they still don't know or settled at what the power play is going to look like. But it may be now Braden Point moving to the old Stamkos spot on the left side, Bjorkstrand at the bumper spot, Kucherov on the right, Hedman running the point. So those are different changes. And like Kucherov said, yeah, our power play, I think, was number one last year, but when we played the good teams, it wasn't great. And certainly wasn't good against the Panthers. 1 for 15 and, 0 for 15. So or 0 for 14, I guess it was. So, yeah, you ain't beating the Panthers with that, especially when they're taking liberties like they were. And again, you can't focus exactly on one team. And look, the Panthers already have their issues with Kachuk not there, Barkov not there. And they lost Rodriguez the other night. Don't know how long he's going to be out. They may have lost a couple guys the other night. Mm-hmm. So it's why it's very difficult to win 3 in a row. So nobody's penciling them in as champions just yet. So, this is a great opportunity for the Lightning to kind of find themselves and get back in it. People that are the 3 first-round exits, we don't really make changes, we got to rebuild. That's just stupid. You were one of the best teams in the league. The regular season does matter. I mean, it kind of does matter. It's, 82 games, and you were one of the better teams in the league, top 4 teams in the league, statistically. You just ran into the freaking champions. So, no, you don't blow it up. You tweak it. Yeah. You tweak it. And speaking of tweaking, Vassie is expected to start tonight. We'll hear more from Brian Bradley when he jumps on at 10:30. But it's far from perfect. Let's just put it that way. If you're keeping 3 goaltenders, they went out and got Phoenix Copley, who's an experienced goaltender. They like him. If you're carrying 3, something's up. I mean, I don't know anything. Mm-hmm. I've got no inside information. I'm just a Jumbotron guy. They don't tell me anything. So I don't know anything. I got no inside information. But, I mean, and they're not going to tell anybody. They don't tell anybody. They don't tell their broadcasters. They don't tell anybody. They're very, very tight-lipped about injuries. They do a great job over there. That's what they should be. But, so nobody knows what's going on with Vassie, but he didn't play a lot in the preseason. There's clearly something up. And he didn't look great the other night in one game, but it's, that was a preseason debacle. He constantly facing the power play. So we don't know, but he didn't look great, looked a little slow side to side. So it's probably going to take him some time to get in. Is it the back? I don't know. I have no idea. But if they're keeping 3 goalies, something's up. I mean, just common sense. Just common sense. So especially
to start the season. That's just never done.
Yeah. So, that's a huge question mark because as this team, it's 88 is the number one reason they won the Cups. Not the only reason, but the number one. Yeah. And he's got to be, like he was at the end of the season, one of the best goaltenders in the league, Vezina finalist, as he's been 5 times now, I believe, and a winner. So he's voted by his peers as the best goalie in the game last year. So a healthy Vassie is going to be extremely important, obviously. So that's the Lightning stuff. We'll talk to Brian Bradley. Got to get a lot more from him at 10:30. All right. Baker talked yesterday, and I thought he had such a good line. You know, he was asked about kind of like, have you changed? What you're being so beloved now, where before we're seeing a lot of these videos pop up, Timmy. I don't know if you've Stephen A. Smith and a lot of his detractors, old Colin Cowherd clips, and how all these guys used to just dump on Baker Mayfield. And listen, he was a different cat. He was in a different situation. Actually, I don't think he was a different cat, to be quite honest. I don't.
No, he's the same guy. Same guy he was in Cleveland.
Yeah. I think he's pretty.
And OU and Texas Tech, same guy.
Dude. Yeah, he's edgy, he's cocky, but when you're losing, you're cocky, you're a punk. He said yesterday, he goes, yeah, I haven't really changed, but now I'm a dog and I have moxie because you're winning, right? And you're more beloved. And people want a new story. They like the new story. They like the Baker story, right? Everybody likes that story. So, it's Tampa Bay. It's kind of an underdog story, comeback. Yeah, it's great. What the hell just happened there?
Oh, sorry.
Love Tim May, but not on my show.
I'm having issues with StreamYard right now.
Yeah, clearly. So yeah, it's funny, and I think it's funny as well. And I love the fact that he knows it and he loves it. But he's getting a lot of love for a lot of reasons, and he should, because when you look at the tape from last week, and Josh Queipo and I break it down really, really well. Yeah. We'll do that we'll play that in the 11:30 window. He's been phenomenal. Last week was a virtuoso performance on so many levels, and he's doing it with without a lot of his best guys. And if you think the Bucs injury report is big, holy crap! Wait till you see the 49ers. If you have a picture of that, we can put that up. It is long and distinguished.
Long and distinguished.
And you know what the next line is? Like my John.
Like my John.
Yeah.
So here's the funny thing, JP, is I have to shrink the screen to fit it all on.
For both teams?
Well, no, just the Niners.
Just the Niners?
Just the Niners. I'll get one of the Bucs here too. We'll throw it up there by comparison here.
Yeah. So for the Bucs, Mike Evans did not practice hamstring. Godwin has a fibula. A little worried about that. He said he's sore. He had the whole dislocation, and so fibula bothers me. Did not practice. Bucky Irving did not practice. Foot, shoulder. I doubt if he plays this week. Zion had a cast. Zion McCollum had a cast and a sling. He had a procedure with his thumb. Bowles said yesterday he could be in play, but it's maybe a pain tolerance thing, and we'll see. It's weird when they say that. Because then if they don't play, you're like, well, what a wussy. No, it's you played with a broken thumb last week. Let's just put that out there.
So here's your Bucs injury report on the screen if you're watching across all of our video channels.
Oh, it's not the same, as mine. But yeah, so Levante David did not practice. He's got a knee. Jamel Dean was limited. Levante was limited, by the way, did not practice. Right. Izzian was limited. We might get him back and worse, limited with the knee. So yeah, they're actually getting healthier. Well, Zion, I guess that's a hit. But if they get Dean and Izzian back, then that's a 2-for-1. Don't know about Ben Morrison. They still got to see on him. So yeah, a lot. Now here's your San Francisco. Look at that. Holy shnikes. Robert Beal Jr. Had an ankle, did not practice. Alfred Collins, defensive lineman, knee, did not practice. Yader Gross-Matos, defensive line, and a good one, knee, hamstring, did not practice. Juwan Jennings, wide receiver, did not practice. Christian McCaffrey, rest, did not practice. Ricky Pearsall has a knee, did not practice, probably won't play. Brock Purdy has a toe, did not practice, may not play.
Yeah, he's not supposed to play.
Jordan Watkins, calf. Trent Williams, their fine tackle, they rested him. Mac Jones has a knee and an oblique. He's limited. So he's probably going to start. He's been good.
Yeah. Been real good.
Yeah. CJ West, limited. Kendrick Bourne, who had the big week last week, did have full practice. And, of course, they're already out, Bosa and Kittle.
Yep.
So, and they're 4-1. I mean, both of these coaching staffs have done a phenomenal job dealing with injuries. So you have two really beat up teams. They've got to come west which is a tough ask. The Bucs, I think, are getting a little bit healthier, and they're playing well, and I expect this offensive line really has surprised me. And the coaching staff has done a great job with kind of hiding Heck and Haggard, but they're doing a good job. I thought they played pretty well. And Barton had a much better game this week as he gets settled back at center. So the Bucs are 3-point favorites in this game. I like them a lot this week. I just, the 49ers are really, really beat up. But these are two really good coaching staffs. Now, historically, Shanahan's gotten the best of Todd Bowles. But this is a different defense. It's a different defensive style. I hope that they're going to be more aggressive and remain aggressive against this San Francisco team. The home crowd should hopefully be a bonus. Probably going to be another hot day, even though it's 425. It's going to be another scorcher. Yep. So this is a game I hope the Bucs can win and get to 5-1, which is I don't think any of us predicted that. I was more of a 4-4 guy after 8, and just because without Wirfs and without Godwin going in, I thought it was going to be a bit of a tough slog. But I mean, they have. Listen, there are games they should have lost or could have lost, right? All these games coming down to it. But that's what we talked about in the offseason, game management. And Bowles talked a lot about this yesterday and gave a lot of credit to Zach Beislein, their game manager that they hired. And it's not just calling timeouts. It's getting guys, cognizant of how you should play and what you should play. And I think also stylistically, we saw that from Bowles. When they got the ball at the end of the game and a minute to go and 3 timeouts, he did not sit back. He did on the first play. But the next play, he sent Winfield, and he got home and got Darnold off his spot, hit him as he threw, and that caused it to ricochet off a helmet and into the arms of Levante David. And the rest is history. But they weren't going to sit back. They were going to get after
it. Drew it up.
It's exactly like they drew it up. So, it's hard not to love where the Bucs are right now, and they should win this week. Doesn't mean they will. Obviously, this Niners team is very resilient. It's great organization with a lot of depth, but you're asking a lot of this team, quite frankly. All right, we're not going to do a whole lot on baseball today, but there have been some. Yeah, well, let me just do just a.
No, I meant we're taking a break from talking baseball here.
Yeah. I'm just real quickly. There was one article in a column in the Times from John Hill, who and I'm so tired of pitting St. Petersburg against Tampa, and this seems to be an obsession with the Times. Is we have to now dump on the new ownership group and in another article yesterday about how the new group and how Sternberg did everything right and he created this incredible culture and everything, and it's like and that may exist somewhat in the organization, but when I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole, but when you've done all the things that Sternberg has done to this community in a negative way, I don't think you should deserve that kind of praise, but whatever. We will agree to disagree on that for sure. But in John Hill's column, he says, you can't make too much. I'm not going to read the whole thing. First dates, everyone showered sharp and on their best behavior, but the new owners of the Tampa Bay Rays made several impressions in their first appearance Tuesday. I gave them an A for preparation, a B for candor, and a C for clarifying where the relationship goes. He said, first, the plus, managing partner Patrick Zalupski, co-chair Crossgrove, and Ken Babby were upbeat during the press conference, praising the team and the corporate culture that Stu Sternberg, the former principal owner, built over the last 20 years. They said all the right things, blah, 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 blah. This is the paragraph that kind of pissed me off. He said, exactly what form or scale, talking about the stadium, and the incentives that they will be looking for. Yes, they want a public-private partnership, and they're going to ask for public money. Of course, all ownership groups do. He said exactly what form or scale those incentives might be is anybody's guess. Much would depend on the stadium's location. To that point, the new owners have not expressed any preferred site, but Tuesday's announcement seemed to both expand and retract the pool of potential locations. If the goal is a new stadium by 2029, which it is, Zalewski's team will accomplish in the coming months what the previous owners couldn't do over many agonizing years. This is just to whitewash that, and this is the narrative that pisses me off the most, is that, oh, they couldn't get it done. These altruistic, wonderful owners, and it's, somehow inferring that this was the community's fault.
Right.
Which is just mind-blowing to me. Oh, they couldn't, the agonizing years, they couldn't get it done. They couldn't get it done because the owner didn't want to pay a penny for the stadium. And couldn't work with anybody. Nobody trusts him. Nobody wants to work with him. They just gloss over it like it's everybody else's fault. Of course, and that's what Stu always said, it's everybody else's fault. We're going to find out very quickly, we already know, most of us already know, that it's not us, it's him. And it's always been him. I mean, look at St. Pete, bent over backwards, boondoggled their entire constituents into would have been the worst public subsidy in the history of stadiums, numerically, statistically, in the smallest city, paying for it. Thank God that he reneged on the entire deal, as I knew he would, because he was never going to pay $700 million plus cost overruns. Never. A guy that wouldn't pay $150 million for a stadium in Tampa. I mean, it's ridiculous. And this entire, acting, this entire column is like, oh, what about HCC? What about HCC? Mr. Celestin, who's been talking to the new owners about what's going to happen to HCC, already did an interview and said it's a win-win. We're going to get new buildings. It's going to be great for us. We're acting like we're displacing this Florida State University campus that's been there for 100 years or Gainesville. I mean, no, it's a bunch of ugly buildings and mostly parking lot that are going to get a refab and a whole better deal. And to act like all of these impediments and it's a bad part of town. Well, guess what? When you come, if you have any sense of history and what's done with baseball stadiums in Washington, D.C., one of the worst areas, totally regentrified that area. Now it's one of the best. Same thing happened in Houston. Same thing happened in Colorado. Same thing happened in Camden Yards. When you put a baseball stadium in an entire entertainment district around it, like the Battery, you change the neighborhood. It's no longer a dumpy neighborhood. And if you haven't noticed, that all that area is being gentrified. So it's all this laundry list of negatives. And they couldn't cheer Stuart Sternberg enough about what an unbelievable dude and great culture builder and all this great. And we're taking pot shots at the new owners with really ridiculous stuff. I'm not saying you got to be a cheerleader, but can you be a little bit more objective and maybe show a little bit of promise of what could be instead of trashing everything already? I
don't understand when you don't know when to concede defeat. Like even Stu has he's conceded, right?
He was forced to. But
exactly, but he's conceding that he's not here anymore, right? That it's not his toy. He took his ball
Ken
and he
Welch,
went
the
home.
mayor's like, yeah, we're moving on.
So I don't understand why these Stu-friendly media, why they're continuing with this. Because even Stu's done. He's gone. So I don't understand what they think the benefit is to continue to defend him. I don't get it. It's bad. Yeah. It's bad journalism is what it is. Yeah. It's terrible journalism.
Yep. Terrible. All right, let's talk some hockey. We'll take a break. We'll come back on the other side. Brian Bradley will join us. We'll talk a little bit about opening night tonight, what's going on. He's there at the morning skate, so we'll see if we learn anything there. We're brought to you by the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVES lawgroup.com. They're local, trusted, and they get results. If you've been in an accident or you have any issues of the legal type, you will get a free case evaluation at jeeveslawgroup.com. Email them, call them, tell them JP sent you. Not attorney spokesman, offices Tampa and St. Pete. And the great folks at Genesis of Tampa had a big weekend with all the USF players coming on over to sign autographs, and saw some great videos of the folks test driving those beautiful Genesis coupes and the SUVs the GV80. Oh, gorgeous cars. Head on over to Genesis of Tampa right there off of Nebraska and 275 and get a look, do a test drive, and tell them JP sent you. Back in 3 with Brian Bradley. Experience the art of driving at Genesis of Tampa, where luxury meets innovation and every detail is crafted for you. From the bold G70 to the refined GV80, Genesis delivers power, elegance, and technology years ahead of its time. Book service online, and our Genesis Experience advisors will pick you up and drop off your vehicle. If available, you can enjoy a courtesy car while yours gets a complimentary interior vacuum plus a generous offer for your trade. Every new Genesis comes with the Miracle Advantage Plan, 10 years or 250,000 miles of powertrain warranty and 4 years of complimentary maintenance. Visit us at 801 East Bears Avenue or online at genesisoftampa.com. Genesis of Tampa, luxury redefined. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week, so go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com. JP here for Riveters, our new official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. And just like our show, no BS, no corporate chain feel, just amazing, authentic folks serving great comfort food in a casual atmosphere at unheard of prices. Riveters is located just south of Raymond James and Steinbrenner Field on Dale Mabry, walking distance to the park. So free parking, great place for pregame and postgame. Let's talk about fresh food. Nothing is frozen. Burgers, wings, prime rib, roasted fresh daily, never frozen. That makes a huge difference. The mahi, the salmon, also super fresh. All our sauces are original recipes made in-house. Our Warhawk chili and fully loaded potato soup is made fresh in-house. It's the best food anywhere, served by people who actually care. Riveters on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of where the Bucs and Rays play. We'll see you there. Are you looking to renovate your home, rebuild after the hurricanes, or build your dream home from scratch? Well, let me tell you about my friend Jason Fawcett and On-Site Construction. They have over 1,450 satisfied clients, 25 years of experience, over 500 designs, and a talented team of over 40 construction professionals. They believe building something exceptional begins by truly focusing on all the details, even the smallest ones. We understand that construction can be a daunting process, and we're here to make it as smooth and stress-free as possible. Quality is non-negotiable at On-Site Construction. We use the finest materials, employ the most skilled tradespeople, and adhere to the highest industry standards to deliver a product we're proud of and that you're going to love. Our project management is meticulous with a focus on completing projects on time and on budget. Your happiness is our primary driver. So give us a call at 813-579-5789 or check out our incredible website at onsiteconstructionfl.com. Are you having legal issues with a business partner or other legal business issues? The attorneys at Walters, Levine & DeGrave can help. Call 800-616-0384 for a free consultation. At Walters, Levine & DeGrave, we've redefined what a law firm can be with top-tier attorneys, personal service, and 26 years of success. From business law to civil litigation, we deliver smart, client-focused solutions. Walters, Levine & DeGrave recently won a $6.4 million jury verdict from a large real estate developer, and they can win for you too. Walters, Levine & DeGrave. Let's solve it together. Not attorney spokesman. For a free consultation, call 800-616-0384 or go to walterslevine.com. Offices Tampa, Sarasota.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at Riveters, the official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. They've got Bucs Brunch coming up this week, open at 9 a.m. over there at Riveters. So go enjoy some of the great food there that they have. It's fantastic, the great service. The happy hour is the best from 3 to 7 each and every day. You can get great food specials like the buffalo chicken spread, which is amazing. The wings and shrimp also on special. So check it out. Great happy hour, great place. And, of course, if you're going to watch a game, any game, you want to watch baseball tonight, it's on at Riveters. So, and football as well. So watch the football, baseball, bet on everything, have the great food. It's a hell of a night right there. Watch the Lightning. If you're not going to the Lightning game, you watch that too.
I'm in.
All right. Speaking of the Lightning, let's go out to Benchmark International Arena, where Lightning Hall of Famer Brian Bradley joins us. Look at you. Got your earbuds in.
Yeah.
You got the Lightning Hall of Fame sweater on right there. Oh, I cannot wait to get down to Benchmark International Arena. How are you, partner?
Good, JP. How are you guys doing today?
Great.
Happy game day. Happy
Yeah.
game day. First game of the season. I'm going to do a little flip here. I don't know.
All
How
right.
do I flip this?
I don't know if you can flip it anymore.
Yeah, I
Might
don't know
have
if I
to,
can. I'm going to just turn it around so I can talk to you guys. You guys can see the Lightning. Can you see the guys skating?
Oh, there.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Sure can. There
And,
they are. Oh, players on the ice.
Vazzy is in net tonight. 100%.
All right.
Nice.
100%.
He's right there. He's right there in net, stopping some pucks. Here's Oliver Bjorkstrand shooting on him right there. The coaches, full teams on the lineup. Got our new player in there, that Curtis Douglas, the big guy, tough guy from Utah Mammoth, 6'9", 243 pounds.
Oh, my God. He looks
Jeez.
ginormous.
He's huge. Well, I'm not kidding you. There's Hedman there, Lilleberg. So you know what? I mean, you know what? You don't want to. I mean, the way the Panthers came in and played us the last couple of games, and we'll talk about that, is,
Yeah.
you know, we need to have toughness in our lineup, and it showed again. And you know what? We went out and got this kid, and he's big, he's smart. You know, he's not going to go on the ice and be stupid, but you know, if there's someone's going to go after Point or Gensel or Kucherov or some of our star players, they're going to have to pay. They're going to have to come and meet this guy at some point. And you know what? He's a tough guy. He can fight. Like Patty Maroon.
I love it. Brian, we talked about this last year. You could put it back on you. See your handsome face. We talked about this last year that, you know, I don't think it's something that the Lightning really wanted to do, but I think they've been forced to do it. You know, at some point when, you know, you're pushed around by the Panthers, you got to answer. And the other night, the Thursday night, when a lot of this reignited and Greer sucker punched Hagel twice in the face, I think at that point it was like, okay, you know, it's on again. They're just going to try to keep bullying us, and you have to bully the bully, right?
Yeah, you know what? Sometimes you just got to go back. You know what I mean, JP? At the end of the day, I was at the game on Tuesday. I'll just kind of go back and tell the story. Tuesday, I was at the game in Florida, or in Orlando against Florida. You know, we had Roman Schmidt, we had Sabrin in the lineup. We had a few of our guys, Bjorkstrand and, you know, Connor Geeky and Mitchell Chafee and guys like that in the lineup. But, you know, Radish, it was a good game. I mean, you know what? Roman Schmidt fought the guy for Florida. You know, it was a good fight, but our guy gave it to him pretty good. I give the guy credit for sticking up. You know, Sabrin was in the lineup for us. He hit about 6 or 7 guys on Florida. Was not looking to fight unless someone wanted to engage. That's the difference. He was just in the lineup, making sure everybody was okay. And even Roman Schmidt's fight was a very good fight. I thought the game was a really good game in Orlando. We ended up winning, I think, 5-2 or something like that.
Yeah.
Or 3-2. But you know what? Nothing out of control. Well, then Thursday night, Florida comes to our rink in our building with nobody in the lineup that can fight. And number 10 and 12, Greer and the other guy are running around being, it was literally, I'm going to say it was a shit show what they did.
Yeah.
You know, they grabbed Hagel, they cross-checked him in the back, punched him in the head. When he's going down to get up, they punched him in the head again. Like how, and the refs did not kick him out of the game. I know they gave him a 10-minute major and a 2-minute penalty, but everything after that point was a mess. Like, you know, Radish fought somebody. I mean, you got guys like, you know, Gensel trying to get involved. Like, we don't need those guys doing that. I mean, you know, and you knew Saturday night, I don't think anybody cared about the game. I think all they cared about was, you know what, you know, we're going to go to Florida and we're going to do exactly what they did in our rink. You know, we're going to bring guys up here and, you know what, and I don't understand. And I'm going to tell you, I was pissed with this whole thing is, At the end of the day, Florida got what they deserved Saturday night. I don't understand how we got so many fines and suspensions. And I'll tell you this: I looked at the hit 10 times. J.J. Moser's hit wasn't clean. The guy was against the boards. But you know what? Carter Verhaeghe's hit on Jurgensen, that was a major penalty. If he got 2 games, he should have got 4 games. And you know what? For them not to get anything, I think it was wrong. Colin Campbell, who was the head of player safety, his son is with the Florida Panthers. That's a problem right there.
Yeah,
problem. Tell you that.
The conflict for sure.
It's a conflict. There's no way if you were to take 10 people or 20 people and say, look, these are 2 hits that happened the other night. Which one is dirty and which one is dirtier than the other? I guarantee 20 out of 20 would say Verhaeghe's hit's dirtier. And he didn't get a fine. He didn't get suspension. He didn't get anything. I mean, I don't get it.
No, and I think the league is setting a dangerous precedent, Brian, especially that happening in the preseason. They're setting a dangerous precedent for the rest of the regular season now, allowing stuff like that to happen.
Yeah, for sure. And you know what? Like I said, the games kind of got away from back in the 90s, that would happen all the time when I played, games like that. You have your fighters like Aricho Ciccone, Rudy Pocek, Jim Cummings, and all guys like that. They would, you couldn't do that. If you did that to a guy like a star player, you would have to fight.
Yeah.
And these guys are just running around rampant. And it's like, I don't get why would Florida even do that? I mean, I have to say it's the coach. Paul Maurice played junior against Paul Maurice. They were always a very dirty team, played for the Windsor Spitfires. So at the end of the day, I think.
So this goes all the way back to his junior days.
Well, they were definitely a dirty team in junior hockey. They had Todd Gill and all kinds of guys. I mean, we played them. I played for London and he played for Windsor. And you know what? At the end of the day, it was like Florida. It was the same thing as Florida and Tampa right now. And you know what? I'll tell you this: when I played back in the late '80s, and obviously in the '90s here, but when I played back in the day, I played for Calgary. We played Edmonton. Well, let me tell you, it was a battle of Alberta. It was very similar to what's going on now. But you know what? Each team had 5 guys that could fight. So the fighters would fight, and then the game would settle down. They had Gretzky, they had Messier, they had Anderson. We had Hockenlube, we had Joe Nieuwendyk. We had a lot of really good guys. I remember the first time I played in Edmonton, we started 5 guys. They started 5 guys in Northlands Coliseum in Edmonton. And each one of those guys dropped their gloves. There was 5 fights in the first 5 seconds. And then, you know what? They kicked everybody out except the original 2 guys fighting. And then the rest of the time, everybody played hockey. There was no knuckleheads on the ice. No one's going after Gretzky or Messier or going to fight Paul Coffey. But those guys running around the ice for Florida the other night, it was embarrassing to me how they didn't get anything. It was bad. And I agree. If you're going to let the bully do that, sometimes you got to stick up.
Yeah, you have to. At some point, you have to. And I think, as I said, I don't think the Lightning wanted to do this and wanted to do what happened Saturday night, but they were left no choice. You have to respond. And that's what we saw. And for Cooper to get fined and Maurice not to get fined, the NHL act like this started on Saturday night.
Did not start on Saturday.
They did. Everybody knows that, but that their discipline that they handed out acts like the Lightning woke up and said, "Oh, we're going to call up 6 skaters today that are just going to run around and fight people." No, we were forced to do that, and then our organization gets a fine, and then Maurice doesn't get a fine. The Panthers get nothing. I mean, it couldn't be more obvious. And this goes back to the playoffs too, Brian, as we talked about. It wasn't just a Hagel hit. It was after every goddamn whistle. They were punching, hitting people in the back of the head, no calls. They were taking cheap shots the entire freaking series. The next series against Toronto, they ran the damn goalie, got him out. Yeah. And nothing, it's like, who cares, though?
A suspension. Sam Bennett knocks out Stolarz in that series, and if they don't knock him out, they probably lose that series.
Yes,
and maybe win the cup. But Sam Bennett didn't even get a penalty. How?
And the fact that Colin Campbell's son is the assistant general manager and he has history with the Panthers, it's a horrible look for the NHL. It's a horrible look.
I agree, JP. I just think that what they did Tuesday game in Orlando was a good game, and then. What they did here in our home building with those 2 guys running around, like and we didn't have anybody toughness. Like Radish was fighting, and then you had like other guys that were fighting. It's like those aren't fighters, guys. I mean, okay, now go fight Sabern and go fight, Roman Schmidt, or go fight this, the guy we got up right now,
Douglas. Yeah,
you Curtis Douglas. Let's see how you do against him. I mean, you know what? I guarantee it's not going to be good. But at the end of the day, you know what? They did it in the playoffs last year. You know what? They're not going to do it to us anymore.
No,
and
it's
you know
over.
what? When we play them on November 15th, we have some guys on our fourth line that are probably going to be like Curtis Douglas and maybe someone else. And you know what? If I'm Coach Cooper, I just say, look, I don't want you to take stupid penalties. We're not going to lose 7-0. But you know what? If those guys run around and they're running our star players, you're going to go on the ice, and you know what you need to do. I don't have to tell you. And that's what's going to happen. And I cannot wait for that. They should show that game. They should show that game on national TV that night on ESPN, the Panthers and us.
We got to get Michael Buffer to come in for that one and do the old ding, ding, ding. Let's get ready to. I won't say it because it's copyright.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about the power play. Bjorkstrand. I'm hearing Bjorkstrand's going to go to the bumper. Point's going to go to the old Stamkos left side, right? And then and then Hedman and then Cooch on the right side, Pointer behind. So. Is this? I know they got to experiment to see what's going to work. What do you think about the new power play?
Yeah, you know what? I don't know. We're going to see what it's going to be like here coming up in the game tonight. I know we have to be better on the power play. It was just okay during the playoffs last year, but at the end of the day, we've definitely got to be better. I'm not sure if I like Point on the other side like Stamkos used to play, or do I like Bjorkstrand? I think Bjorkstrand to me has a better one-time shot, and I think Stamkos or Point in the middle as a bumper. There's not many guys that can shoot it like him. Gensel's so good down low. I mean, he's just amazing. And then, obviously got Hedman up top. So, I mean, I love our power play, and I like our second unit with Hagel and, Strelly and, probably Mitchell, Gage Gonzalez. We got some good power play, and then like I said, we got to be better. Vazzy's in tonight. But I will say this. We're playing Ottawa tonight. I like Ottawa. They got Allmark in net. Ottawa, to me, is going to be one of the top 3 teams in the East. And this is my predictions right now. I'm predicting Tampa to be 1 because Florida has some injuries. I'm predicting Toronto to be 2. And I'm predicting Ottawa to be 3. And the Panthers are probably going to be a wild card. That's my prediction. Too many injuries. You got Barkov out for the year, probably, maybe playoffs. Tkachuk out till Christmas. I mean, last year they were only 1 point ahead of Ottawa for that other spot with a full lineup with no injuries. So now they got 2 guys that are injured. So we'll see what happens. But tonight's game is going to be good. I really like Ottawa. They got a good team. They got Brady Tkachuk. He's a good player. He's a game player. He plays hard. I think he's more. I like him. He's not going to be crazy like his brother. His brother runs around crazy, Keith Matthews. So, but
Keep Matthews out of our mouth.
They got Susie. They got some good defensemen. Sanderson. They got a really good team tonight. Good goaltender. So I'm really looking forward to a really good game against a very good opponent tonight for home opener. And then same as Saturday, New Jersey. I think New Jersey's going to be probably 2nd or 3rd in the Metro. I really like them. It all depends on that Jack Hughes if he stays healthy. I mean, he's their best player. You can't have a guy going down that long. But, I like our 2 games and we go on the road. But it should be fun to see tonight's game. Hockey's back. The guys are excited. I saw them all downstairs below. They're on the ice now. It's the home opener. Everybody's ready to rock and roll and go from there.
What do you, Brian Bradley joining us here live from Benchmark International Arena? What do you, I think Wednesday we had the big 4th line skating of Connor Geeky, 6'4", Jack Finley, 6'6", and then Douglas was in there at 6'9". Are we going to see that for the 4th line tonight? I'd kind of like to see that.
I don't think, I think Connor Geeky's on the 4th line I think the 4th line is Connor Geeky on wing with Honberg, the Swedish guy we got, with Curtis Douglas. That's our 4th line. I'm pretty sure. So Yanni Gord is going to be playing with Mitchell Chafee, and Yanni's on the 3rd line at center with Mitchell Chafee and
Finley.
Bjorkstrand.
Yorkshire.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think Finley's out, guys.
Finley's out. Okay.
Finley's out, I think. And then
Okay.
obviously it's Point, Gensel, and
Kucherov.
And then the second line is Gage
Hag-
Gonzalez with Hagel and Sorelli. So those are our line
Nice.
combinations tonight for the game. So I think Finley's out. Defensively, Moser's out. We all know why. 2-game suspension. I
Yeah.
actually talked to him this morning too, and he was like the same thing. He goes, I don't understand how I got suspended for 2 games, and the other guy didn't even get a game, which is Carter Verhaeghe.
Ridiculous. Crozier's in tonight, so we got Hedman, McDonough, Crozier.
Yeah.
Who else? Trying to remember. Turnak, yeah.
Radish, Lilleberg,
McDonough.
Hedman, all
Lilleberg.
those guys. So we got a good combination going tonight's game. Obviously Vazzy's in net, Johansson's back up, but obviously Vazzy will play the first game. He'll probably play Saturday night too. And then we got back-to-back. We play Boston Monday. We play somebody Tuesday. So in Washington Tuesday. So, like I said, I like our line combinations. I like everything. So we'll see where we're at.
You got any worries about Vassy in his back or whatever's going on with him?
You know what? I talked to the team, and they said Vazzy's ready to go. I think if there was a problem, I think he wouldn't play. It's too early in the season to have a risk factor for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
So, I think if he's playing tonight, he's 100% ready to go. I think if he's at 80%, why? I mean, you know what? Johansson's right here coming off the ice. And then they got the other goalie. I think, what's his other goalie? The 3
Phoenix
goalies.
Copley.
Phoenix Copley's over on the far side taking shots. Johansson's right here, just about to go off the ice.
Yeah.
So you can see some guys. Hedman's doing one-timers. Phoenix Copley's at the far end. Bazzy's already off. They've already did all their stuff. There's Gensel's on the ice there with Mitchell Chafee, Gage Gonzalez, and Sorelli. So, no, I mean, it's going to be good. Like I said, I like our team. I like our chances. I think we can go deep this year in the playoffs with a little more grit. I think we're going to have to play Florida at some time, but you know what? Bring them on because I like our team.
Yeah.
I think we got great goal scoring. I like our defense. Maybe we can get a little bit better, but we got a great goalie. But so does Florida. You got to do a wash. Bobrovsky and Vazzy are pretty close together, but I think we got better up front guys right now, especially with their injuries. And you know what? We've added some toughness. So you know what? Let's go Bolts this year. I think we got a good chance to go deep in the playoffs this year, guys.
All right, last question, Brian. Last question.
Yeah.
And I know your arm's getting tired. Bjorkstrand and Andriani were not at 100% last year when they got here. Obviously, Bjorkstrand didn't even play in the playoffs. Those guys being healthy, does that make a big difference? Because I think it does. Yeah.
You know what? Here's the thing. The 2 things that make a big difference, obviously, that is a big factor. Yanni Gord had a broken hand in the playoffs, and Bjorkstrand, had that, fluky injury with his leg where he was out for like 2 months. I mean, and when we made the trade, let's be honest with you, we made the trade for Bjorkstrand, and Yanni Gord was part of the deal, but the major deal was for Bjorkstrand and his scoring ability. I mean, the guy's a 5 or 6 time 20 goal scorer, so he can put the puck in the net. I think he'll score 30 this year. That's my guess.
Damn.
I like it. But you know what? But I think the other thing that's maybe more important than everything is everybody's been together for a year now. There's been no major changes. You know what? Gensel coming in, Bjorkstrand coming in later, Yanni Gord coming in. We've had some changes. So there really hasn't been a lot of changes to this year's team. The guys are close. The guys are together. I think they're ready to go this year. They're excited.
All right, Pete. I'll see you tonight, man. Cannot wait. You're the best. Appreciate it. The great Bradley right there. Hall of Famer. Lightning Hall of Famer. We love it. Thanks, man. Great stuff there. His arm must be like ready to fall off. It's tiring holding your arm up.
JP, I didn't get a chance to ask Brian, but your thoughts on the Lightning, their ability to repeat as the number 1 scoring offense once again with the way the lineup is.
I think to Brian's point, being together doesn't make you worse. If you like each other, if you all get along, and they got great chemistry, great culture in the team. So I think it's just a plus. I think, more familiarity, just the more you play together, the better you are. And I do think, Yanni was certainly not himself last year, and Bjorkstrand, they've got to be a tougher team to play against. Yeah, and that's Yanni's not a big guy, but he's a pain in the ass. He's a pain in the ass. Right. He always, he's always, hitting people. He's in that, right? And then we're obviously a little bit bigger on the fourth line. We're a little bit tougher, so I think that's something that this team definitely needed. Now I'm a little worried about Vasi because we're carrying 3, and it's such a big deal. You got to have a healthy goaltender, obviously. But I think Gensel was the best free agent addition in the league last year. I think he just gets better with playing with Kucherov for a whole year. Braden Point, he's in his prime. He's a 50-goal scorer in his prime. Cirelli had his best offensive year ever, and I think he's never been more confident. Hagel, say the same thing about him. 90-point guy. He's never been more confident. The fact that those guys went and won the Four Nations, I think, makes them stand a little bit taller on their skates, and they're viewed now as elite players, as they are. So I think you look at this, I think it's funny because we've seen these guys, we know them, and they've been around, and we just haven't had the playoff success in the last 3 years. But the 2 of those years, we lost to the eventual champions, who clearly, in my mind, are being protected by the league and allowed to get away with shenanigans in the playoffs that other people aren't. And they know it. And they play like it. So now, we need to be better on the power play against them. When they take penalties, we got to make them pay. That's our fault. That's our fault. But again, I love this team. I like this team. And, we may have some fatigue because we're not making big changes, but big changes don't necessarily make you better hockey team. This team's got plenty of talent. We got the MVP. I mean, we still have what everybody else considers, the league considers the best playmaker in the game, and this is voted by the players, in Kucherov. And best offensive player, obviously, I think, when you look at the total. You've got a 50-goal scorer in Braden Point, in Gensel's in the 40s. You got Hagel. All these guys have proven themselves to be elite players in the league. Hedman is still a top 5 defenseman. Hedman. McDonough led the league in plus minus last year, and I know he's getting a little bit older, but these guys are elite freaking players. So yeah, I think the Lightning have a great chance to get a number 1 seed, to get 100 points, and they're a cup contender. What more do you want? Yeah.
It's exciting, and it all starts tonight.
Yes, it does. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back on the other side. We're going to talk a little USF football, invading Timmy's North Texas.
I'm going
to Denton.
I'm going tomorrow night
with an attitude, baby. Yeah.
I just found out about 10 minutes ago. I finally got the email back from the Mean Green office.
All
you
right.
are approved for credentials, baby.
The Mean Green going down. It'll be green, nauseous green.
I don't know.
All right. Joey Johnston's going to join us next. We are brought to you by the great folks at Bay Area Modern Medical Center, BAMMC.com. Get a concierge doctor like Chris Lugo, like I have. If you have any issues on the weekends, you can call them up and they'll send in a prescription for you. You'll have his cell phone number. You will get plenty of time with the doctor. He's always available for you. It's concierge medicine, and it's what it's all about, folks. Insurance companies are not interested in your well-being. They are interested in profit. You got to have somebody who is a knowledgeable advocate about your particular health. Personal medicine is what it's all about.
I've got my free consultation with Chris tomorrow, JP.
There you go. BAMMC.com. Yes. Find out what it's all about and tell them JP sent you. Back in 3. The holidays are coming up, and the Golden Diamond Source wants to be your family jeweler. Discover the ultimate jewelry superstore with the largest selection of diamonds, engagement rings, and fine jewelry all under one roof. Don't wait any longer to find that one-of-a-kind perfect engagement ring for that special someone in your life. And as your relationship grows, so can your diamond with the Golden Diamond Source. Trade up at any time. You get 100% of its value when you come back to trade up. And why don't you get a head start on your holiday shopping? With the Golden Diamond Source's unbeatable low pricing and financing options, you can get 5 years, 0%, and make this holiday season truly memorable. The Golden Diamond Source takes pride in offering only natural diamonds formed over billions of years by the Earth's incredible forces. If it's real love, Get a real diamond. Shop online anytime at goldanddiamond.com or stop by their showroom and tell them JP sent you at 3800 Almaton Road. Always online at goldanddiamond.com. Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man Scott Jeeves, who lives right here and has long been a highly respected member of our community. He's a proud sponsor of the Tampa Riverwalk. Jeeves Law Group is also a proud sponsor of our Grand Central District in St. Pete and has neighborhood events throughout the year. He has an office on Central Avenue in St. Pete and one on South Howard in Tampa. You can't get more local than that. So when you need an attorney, you're going to hire some huge firm that advertises all over the state or the one that supports your favorite sports show. It's the Jeeves Law Group. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. For personal injury and personal attention, call us for a free case evaluation. That's 8889-JEEVES. That's 8889-JEEVES. With this record heat in Tampa Bay, you better have your AC unit running at peak efficiency. Third Generation Plumbing installs the best American standard AC units. Our split systems offer the highest efficiency available while reducing energy bills and maximizing comfort. That's why Third Generation Plumbing trusts American standard air conditioning, built to last, made to perform. Whether it's a new install or an emergency repair, our family-owned team brings 3 generations of trusted service to your home, now with the unmatched reliability of American standard. Plumbing or cooling, we've got Tampa covered. Call Third Generation Plumbing today, 813-961-8024, or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com. And we also do AC.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at the Gold and Diamond Source. If you're looking to get that engagement ring, no better place than the Gold and Diamond Source. Just over the bridge, if you're coming from Tampa, 3800 Ulmerton Road, they've got the Diamond Savings Account, which means your diamond never loses its value. So when you're making more money, you want to upgrade for your lady, you can come back in 3, 4, 5 years and do that and get full value for that diamond and make sure it is a real diamond. You do not want to start your relationship with a fake diamond, folks. Really, really bad idea. And you know what you're going to get when you go to the Gold and Diamond Source. Great staff over there. They're not going to try to upsell you. And by the way, they do everything over there, all type of jewelry repair, mounting, and they got a special going on right now for mounting as well. So check it out. If you're in the market for an engagement ring, the Gold and Diamond Source is the place to go. All right, let's welcome in, as we do each and every week, for our chat with Joey Johnston, USF sideline reporter, longtime reporter at the Tampa Tribune. What's up, Joey? How are you, my friend?
Hello, JP. How are you doing? We're on our way to Texas for some Friday Night Lights, USF at North Texas. We are hoping to outdraw some of the high school games in the area on Friday night, which actually could be a challenge. But anyway, a great matchup in the American. It's on ESPN2 at 7:30 Friday night. North Texas is off to a 5-0 start. The Bulls are 4-1 and back in the national rankings at number 24. So a good test at this point in the season in the American.
Yeah, I don't know much about the Mean Green. I know they're 5-0. Have they beaten anybody of consequence? Have they gone up against anybody that we would know about?
Yeah, I wouldn't say they've played the most formidable schedule in the world. They did beat Army in the league. We're still not sure how good Army is, but they've looked very solid. They have the interesting thing about the Mean Green is they have a redshirt freshman quarterback, Drew Mestamaker, who is leading the league in passing efficiency. He has 11 touchdowns and no interceptions. A young guy, a big guy, or a tall guy, 6'4", 211, a dual threat. But interesting thing about him, he's from Austin. Until this year, he had not started a game since the 9th grade. He's been a backup,
Really?
and now he is the starting quarterback at North Texas, and he's doing a great job. And I know the USF coaches watching him on film, they're very impressed with this kid. And I think one of the big things to watch in this game perhaps will be USF's ability to disrupt him. He has not been sacked very often. He's not thrown interceptions. So the Bulls have got to do something to bother him, because so far he's been able to sit back there and throw darts, and the Bulls can't allow that to happen.
I think Kyle Trask was once a backup in Texas somewhere, and because the quarterbacks are so damn good.
Similar story, yes, that's right.
You get caught behind some great player, and you don't get to play. So we'll see what this kid's got. Well, I know this. Byron Brown is kicking ass, 4 touchdown passes in each of his last 2 games. It just seems like he's getting better and better every game, Joey. Talk a little bit about this kid who should be in the Heisman talk. I think.
Yep. He's playing like the veteran that he is. He's doing it through the air. He's got some great receivers this year, and as they mentioned, 4 touchdowns in each of the last 2 games. That's the first time that's happened for him. But last week against Charlotte, he used his legs a bit, ran for 162 yards, which was a career high, and he can do that sort of thing. He can create a lot of damage on the ground. I know, they don't necessarily want to run him a bunch of times, and they'd like the backs to kind of set more of the pace and not just put it in Byram's hands or feet, as it were. But you can't ignore the fact that he's a great runner. He will create things for you. So, it certainly looks like Byram is coming into his own and taking it to a higher level. And his numbers are starting to climb a bit. And you're right. I think maybe another week or so, if the Bulls keep winning and he keeps playing like this, he's going to be tough to ignore for these national awards. He certainly deserves to be mentioned.
Absolutely. Hey, by the way, you don't have to look down at all. Keep your eyes on the road. We see
okay.
Yeah. You don't need to reference us at all. We see
Thank you. Yeah.
We hear you great. Yes. Look straight ahead.
Multitasking.
There you go. Mac Harris, number 16 in FBS with it says posting 0.80 sacks per game. I'm reading the release right now. And number 2 with 0.60 forced fumbles. The Bulls have forced the turnover every game this year, 13 straight games, second longest streak in the FBS. What is Todd Orlando and his defense doing so well right now?
Todd Orlando, I guess, when he gets the right tools, and he was like this at USC, at Texas, at Houston, all the places that he's been, he really has a reputation for being kind of a mad scientist back there, a guy that can move the chess pieces around and create some problems. I know when USF gave Alabama fits a couple of years ago, Nick Saban was very complimentary. He called it one of the most exotic defenses he had seen. So he keeps you guessing. That's the biggest thing. And he gets people to move all over the field and come at you from different angles that you don't expect. And he has definitely been a good influence on Mac Harris, who is very productive. Mac Harris is another guy I think that's going to get some national attention by the end of the year, because he's having a great year at linebacker. He is not only tackling, he's sacking, he's forcing fumbles, he's hurrying the quarterback, he's getting tackles for loss. His stats are enormous right now. So again, if the Bulls keep winning, he's a guy that's going to be on the national radar. And he's having a great senior year, just similar to Byram. He's a leader, and he's playing like one.
All right, I'm going to bring in my co-host here, IndyCar Tim, who will be going to the game just to see you, Joey. He's going to come
nice.
you on the sideline in
Yeah.
North Texas there. Timmy, the floor is yours.
So you were talking about North Texas. They're right in my backyard here. Joey. I watch a lot of them. I do a Texas college football podcast here too as well, talking about a lot of North Texas being 5-0. You know, you talked about Drew Mestemaker, and he is certainly a force. I'm curious though, their ground game to me is the focus. Their top two running backs that kind of have a two-headed monster at running back, Mackenzie McGill and Caleb Hawkins, they've combined for 625 yards on the ground and 11 touchdowns. So if you stop Mestemaker, you got to stop these guys too. I'm just curious, what are your thoughts on the ground game for North Texas and stopping that?
Yeah, no, you're right, and I think maybe North Texas and USF share a philosophy. They definitely want to get it going on the ground, and I know Hawkins particularly the last two games has been extremely productive. Yeah. I think 239 yards rushing, and he's caught passes for almost 100 yards, and he's a freshman, by the way.
Yeah.
So they've got to stop these guys on the ground. So in an ideal world, you throttle the running game and you put pressure on Mestemaker and put him in third in difficult situations. I guess so far North Texas has been ahead of the chains, and Mestemaker's been in good situations for him to throw it and get the running game going. So they say it every week, and it literally every week the coaches talk about it: run and stop the run. Those are always the two biggest things, and maybe for every team in America, really, but definitely for USF, and it sounds like for North Texas as well.
Absolutely, it's going to be an exciting offensive matchup, I believe.
Yeah, and it's great for the American is really off to a good start with some teams getting notable records early on, and this is a great Friday night standalone game for ESPN2 for people to look at and get a little more information on USF and North Texas. And hopefully it will be a good show. I know from what I understand, North Texas is doing everything they possibly can to make this a big environment. They've canceled classes Friday. The school president, which is awesome for the kids. They're going to have a fireworks show at halftime. Everybody's supposed to wear black. They're having BOGO ticket giveaways. I mean, they're really trying to make this a big deal. So so that's a great environment. But the one thing that USF has is they've been to some good environments. They won at the Swamp. They've been to Miami. They went to Tuscaloosa last year. So I think actually they look forward to this kind of thing where it's a little bit hostile and noisy, and I think they'll thrive in that situation.
Yeah, I don't know how hostile and noisy it's going to be at the stadium because they have struggled to get attended.
Hostile in a relative sense. I mean,
it's
not hostile in an SEC, big, yeah. I mean, the stadium seats 30,000, so it is what it is. But
they'll probably fill it halfway up on for tomorrow night. For sure.
Yeah, I'd hope they could sell it out. Maybe I'm unrealistic.
I hope so.
You would know better than I do, but I'm sure there's some big high school games going on in the area, and they'll fill it up. So that's competition, I guess, real competition for North Texas for sure. But anyway, it'll be a fun game, I think, a fun game to watch and a fun game to be at.
Absolutely.
Joey, last question. For USF in the goalless era, the last 2 years, there have been a couple of these games where they've been favored and they just lay an egg. And you're like, where the hell did that come from? I look at this team differently. They seem much more mature. There's a lot more depth. The defense is 10 times better, and their offensive line is much more stout. They're just bigger up front. I think that leads more to consistency. That would be my answer. I don't think that's going to happen this year. If they lose, it's going to be to Memphis. It's not going to be, I don't know how good North Texas is. They're undefeated, but we don't know. It'll be on the road at Navy. I don't see them stubbing their toe against FAU or North Texas. Am I wrong? Is this a different team?
No, I tend to agree with you, and you're right. The 2 years of goalish, they have laid eggs at times when you didn't expect it, and that could be a product of a building team that's not very mature. I think this team is mature. It's got leadership. It's got depth. I would be surprised if North Texas wins the game. Not saying they're not capable of it. Not saying it's not going to be a good game, but I do expect USF to win this game. And Memphis is certainly the date we've got circled, October 25th. That could decide everything for both teams. So can't wait for that. Hope both teams can get there in good shape, because it'll be a great game if they do. But yes, I think in year 3, if USF were to lay an egg at North Texas, that would not be a good thing, because they've got to be beyond that. They've got to be ahead of the chains on things like, I think. and take care of business.
There he is.
All right, Joey. Be safe, my friend. Thanks for taking the time, and we got through this and no accidents. That's awesome. You can
All right.
multitask.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Way to go, Joey. Appreciate you, man.
I appreciate it.
Joey Johnston right there. We'll be listening and watching tomorrow night. Yeah, I can't wait to watch that game.
No, it's going to be
really
a good
looking forward.
one,
Standalone game. Friday night football. Big game for USF. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've gotten to the point now where I don't miss USF games. I don't miss FSU games ever. 24 in the nation. They're top 25 team. I mean, and this is Tampa's. The Bucs are Tampa Bay's team. USF's kind of Tampa's team.
Right.
They should be recognized and they should be supported tremendously well. Next week is a night game. It is homecoming against FAU, which we have a little bit of rivalry. We need to pack that place. We need to pack that place. It needs to be a special environment. The fighting out. Well, they don't fight so hard. So that needs to be an ass kicking. And I'm sure Golish will see to that, the bad blood that's there. So, yeah, listen, take care of business tomorrow night. And then FAU homecoming should be, just a rev up. And then you got Memphis. You got to go on the road to Memphis. Game has not been timed yet, so we don't know what time that game's going to be. But I don't think it'll be a nooner. It's going to be two ranked teams. If everybody, nobody stumbles between now and then. So
it'll probably be an ESPN 7:30 Eastern game, something like that.
I think this USF team is better than people think, and that means you can make some money on this team. I don't know what the spread is tomorrow night. If you got an odds? You got a number?
I can possibly find.
I'm going to say, guess the spread. I'm going to say USF is favored by 6.5.
I'm not. You're going to have to give me a minute. Yeah, I'm not.
Okay. Because they're healthy, they're ready to go. Last week they covered. Well, actually, they were 28-point favorites. I bought a hook at 27.5, and I was rooting them on at the end of the game when they were handing the ball off up the middle. I'm like, don't take a knee, and they didn't. Cash. Bet them first half too.
Well, it's interesting that you said, as I continue to look this up here for us, it's interesting that you said that you think the Bulls are better than most people think. I mean, they're 4-1, and the only team they lost to was Miami.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much better we think they can be. I mean, I think they're pretty good.
The odds makers only had them 28-point favorites against Charlotte. And I know that's the way it ended, but they dominated that game. They gave away the ball 3 or 4 times, or 2 or 3 times.
So as of right now, JP, it is a pick'em game.
It's a pick'em game?
It's a pick'em game.
Slamming the Bulls.
There is no, being a pick'em game, there's no money line on it here to bet on. 66.5 is your total, though. I would take the over on that.
Over and Bulls all day. There's a nice little parlay for you.
Yeah.
Bulls in the over, which I took last week, and that cashed as well. So buy the hook, though. At 28, you buy the hook.
Yep.
Just bet a little bit more money. So, yeah, that seems like a freebie. That seems like a freebie, my friend. Go make some money on the Bulls.
Yep.
All right, let's get to some comments here. We have ignored. I'm watching you guys. Make sure you're not fighting in there.
No, there's no infighting that I can see.
Yeah, no infighting. All right. You see something you want to pop up there, Timmy? You go right ahead.
Well, I thought the funniest comment of the day so far was from John. Or is that, I have my glasses on. Is that Jan?
Yes, Jan.
Tim May, I thought he was one of the dudes from ZZ Top. Go get yourself a pair of cheap sunglasses. Yeah, I don't know why that popped up there, but I apologize.
Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Mike H says, I miss Trisha Whitaker as a reporter in her after-game interviews. Don't we all miss Trish? We sure do.
She's over on Apple TV now, right?
Yeah. She's been very candid about the Rays in her time here, which I appreciate. Just whitewashing everything. John Hill says, Tim wears raspberry red on opening Blue Bolt Hockey Day.
It is not raspberry red. I swear to God, I get shit for everything I wear over here. This is not raspberry red.
John likes to razz you.
This is Aggies maroon because the Aggies are playing Florida at Kyle Field Saturday. So, man, I got to support I got my Aggies mug over here in front on the table. This is not raspberry red, John.
JS says, we are not peeps. We're Petermans. Nathan Elliott. Nathan just refuses to play along.
And I love
He's going to have to be, I don't know. It's going to have to be some type of punishment handed out. I don't know what it is, but
I think it's funny.
Yeah, it is. Kind of. JS also says, have you been to the bench yet? I heard it got a bunch of upgrades. Do not call it the bench.
Can't call it that. You can't call it that.
I am, if I call it the bench, I will be fired. It is Benchmark International Arena. So, anyway.
By the way, the bench sounds like a
lots of
bar.
Yeah, they've been lots of upgrades to the facility. So, yes, and that's done by ownership each and every year. They continue to do that. They don't go. They'll get some money from the public here. I think they get their. It's going to be a little bit, but I think it's going to be like $30 million, just a little bit. But that's bed tax money. It's not your tax money, so it's worth every penny. All right, what else? What else we got here? John Hill says we should start a GoFundMe for NHL teams playing against the Panthers for the fine fund. Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's no
because they ain't going to get fined, but you are. That's for damn sure. Rick says, JS, thank you, Yankees, for reminding us that you are the Cowboys of Major League Baseball. Oh, yeah. Boom.
I don't know. The Yankees have won recently.
Bye-bye. Yeah, but not really recently. When's
their last World Series?
Oh, I know this. No, I don't. I forgot. 2009. When was the last one?
The last one was
World
2009.
Yep. Yeah, 2009. So I thought. Nathan Elliott says PFF says Charlie Heck rated pretty bad. I believe he's played better than his rating. I think what's going on here is Baker is making Charlie Heck look good. Baker has done a lot of escaping and a lot of playmaking. And he's made the offensive line. I think Josh Grizzard has done a tremendous job of helping Heck out. No, I don't think Charlie's been that great, to be quite honest. But they're getting it done, and that's what matters.
Yeah, Mayfield's making everybody look good right now on that offensive line.
John Hill also says, with the NFL having many teams with significant injuries, should they be given the chance to expand rosters? I agree. Yes, they should. Yes, they should. I think, but it's a money thing, I guess, right? Yeah. It seems like 53 is just not enough, especially as these, and they got they're allowed to have the practice squad where they got 18 on the practice squad, so they're kind of expanded, but I think they need more. Mike H says the newer collective bargaining agreement doesn't allow much contact in preseason. Is this the cause of all these early season injuries? Yes. I believe the softening of practice and the fact that these guys don't play in any games whatsoever is the reason why you get so many injuries. Their bodies are just not ready. Bowles kind of said this yesterday, that September is kind of the new preseason. And you kind of don't know what you have as a team, and guys are still getting used to the contact. I mean, it's dramatic when you go from, these training camps, and I hate to use the word soft because it's all relative, but when, the veterans go watch these training camps and they're like, oh my God, what a freaking country club this is. But what they used to do was ridiculous. I mean, 6 preseason games, 3-a-day practices, all padded. I mean, just bananas, crazy stuff. But, there weren't even as many injuries back then. I think it's kind of like what Smoltz talks about with pitchers. The reason there's so many pitchers injuries is because their arms are they're not built up the right way. They don't have the strength and the durability. And, there's probably, a problem with kids throwing too many curveballs when they're young. Yeah. I think that's a huge problem. And their arms there's too many innings on them, because like Smoltz he was an all-state basketball player and played football as well. I mean, these guys played all different sports. They were not throwing, 500 innings a year because they're playing all year round. They were playing other sports and becoming better overall athletes because of it. And I think that's a big reason why kids today, have so many injuries in their arm, because they've been throwing too much from the age of 7 years old. You're identified at 8 years old as, oh, he's a good pitcher. And then you're playing baseball, like especially in Florida, year round. And that's not the way things were meant to be. I would never let my kid play one sport all year round. Never. It doesn't. And coaches will tell you it doesn't make you better.
No.
And the problem is, if you don't play all year round, you lose your spot on the travel team. Yeah. And because there are plenty of parents waiting to pay up, and it's become a business, and it's a feeder system into the high schools. So if you drop out, you lose your spot, and you can't get back in. I've been told by some of these parents. So, but I think if you're good, they'll find a place for you. They'll find a place for you. I think you will be good. I think you'll be better, actually, a better athlete if you're playing multiple sports. JS says Stu has held up development on both sides of the bay and is 0 for 4 in stadium deals. Not sure why the Times loves him so much. They have to do with money. I don't know. Yeah. JS says the Hillsborough has no money storyline has gotten old. One person to blame, and that is Stu. It's been a false narrative from day one that's been repeated. And the mayor flatly debunked it the other day. And Ken Hagan has debunked it many, many times. So, and everybody, and every time I ask somebody on social media, because I do this all the time, if they say, "Oh, Hillsborough has any money," I say, "Where do you get that? What is that based on?" And they never have an answer because it's not true. It's not true. They don't have an endless checkbook, and they're not going to write an open checkbook, which is what Stu wanted. He just wanted upfront money and just wanted to know how much it was going to be. And Hillsborough County is never going to do that. And this new ownership group is not going to ask for that. They're going to do a public-private partnership. It's a key word here, partnership. Stu wanted to drive everything and get all the money and just give me money. No. He said, you'll get more money over time, but we're going to do this as a partnership. We're not going to just give you upfront money because we know what you're going to do. You're going to build a stadium, take most of the money, and bail. Pull a Jeffrey Luria. So, no, thank you.
Right.
No. We're a little bit smarter than that. Mike H says, how will these reporters that took up for Stu get along with the new ownership? I don't know. But the start is not good, in my opinion.
No, neither with the PR staff either.
Yeah, it's been all about Stu. And listen, I think obviously the new ownership group came in and they said some very nice things about Stu and all of that, and that's great. There's no reason to create any friction. There's no reason to dump on anybody. There's no reason there's no reason for it. Leave that to me. Yeah. Leave that to the media and the fans who clearly know. And they're smart to do that. It's like, yeah, you want to get along with everybody. It doesn't do you any good. Now, do I think that there's not going to be changes within the organization? Oh, hell yeah, there is. Hell yeah, there is. Not on the baseball side, but on the business side, yes, they have a much different vision than what the previous regime was about. So I would, and that's not to say the people that are working there are bad people at all. It's not to say, but when you have a company and you come in and you pay this much money, you want people that are loyal to you and share the same vision as you. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. Thomas Casper, our good friend Thomas Casper says, everything negative HCC is because Ebor is 5-star. Yeah, obviously. I mean, you look at the HCC site. It's not iconic in any way. It's not on the water. It's not, in the middle of a beautiful downtown area like, some of these other urban stadiums are that you would like. But you know what? It's right next to Raymond James Stadium. We don't have a problem with where Raymond James Stadium is, do we? Do people bitch about the fact that Raymond James Stadium is in a, quote, bad neighborhood? And it's not a bad neighborhood. It's just not a rich neighborhood. West Tampa is it's a neighborhood of a lot of blue collar people that don't have the most beautiful houses, but they're great, hardworking people. But it's not unsafe in any way. But that area right there that you're looking at, the HCC area, look at it. it's mostly parking lots and pickleball courts. There's very few buildings there. So this whole idea in the John Hill column, oh, we got to displace this great university that has been there and trained our wonderful students for. It's a community college. I mean, what? No disrespect, but it's an ugly, bunch of older buildings in the 60s. I mean, we're not tearing down the Taj Mahal here.
I'll be honest, JP. When I was in Tampa,
we're gonna get rid of this landmark of learning. It's a community college. Jeez, Pete.
When I was in Tampa back in October, it's been a year now, JP. I remember driving by there a few times, driving down West Tampa Bay Boulevard as Johnny and I were searching for watering holes. And I remember looking over at it thinking, is that like a closed mall? Like it looked like a mall that had been shuttered.
Yes, absolutely.
And Johnny had to say, no, that's the college. I'm like, what?
Yeah. And the area around it is not well developed, but it will be.
Oh, it could be.
It's
my gosh.
It's going to be.
Like you guys don't even know how cool it can be to have your football stadium and your baseball stadium across the street from each other. Because within 10 years, 5 years after that happens,
tell them about it, Timmy.
That entire region is going to be a brand new entertainment district that will blow your mind. And it will be so much fun. It'll revitalize the entire area. And it will be the go-to place. Because the bars that pop up there, the shops that pop up there, the other retail districts that pop up there, it will blow your mind how cool a thing like that could be. Go ask St. Louis. Go ask Arlington here in the Dallas area. They're everywhere because that becomes the center of your sports culture in Tampa Bay. And it is a cool thing. I was always hoping that's where the baseball stadium. Now, Ybor Harbor, I get it. That's a cool spot too. But I think for the overall coolness of what this thing could be, put it over where Ray J is, man, because I think that would be an awesome, awesome situation.
Yeah. And I start some people say, well, you're going to need a lot of, do stuff for traffic. And I'm like, why? Raymond James Stadium handles 70,000 people every weekend. It's already there. So I don't understand that part of it. And it's not like they're going to be playing games at the same time. That's not happening. Unless you get to the playoffs, and the Seattle thing that happened was, it's a one-off. It's not hard to do.
That's Seattle.
Yeah. So, it's the infrastructure is already there. There's plenty. There's not a whole lot of. And by the way, the HCC people that have already been negotiating with this new ownership group said it's a win-win. We're going to get new buildings. The newer buildings will stay. The older buildings will go. When we'll get new space, fantastic. And from it's state-owned property, so that will be part of the corporate incentives or part of the package in terms of public-private partnership. Yeah, I mean, remember, people, if this group is going to come in and spend, because the stadium itself is going to be probably $1.5 billion. So, and you're talking about if you're looking at the battery and everything that's been put around it, and you see what's going on in Miami with the $10 billion development down there for Inter Miami that Beckham's doing. These are all things that so talk about $10 billion there. This one, I'm guessing, is going to be $5 to $6 billion in total. And as what happened in the battery, it tripled the tax base.
Yeah.
So again, if you're going to ask for, can we get the land for free from the state? Because we're going to invest $5 to $6 billion. And that's going to produce billions of dollars in revenue for Tampa in terms of jobs, jobs that will be there in the hotels and the restaurants and the office buildings, in the stadium itself. Those aren't, great high paying jobs, but all that velocity of cash matters to the growth of the area. So it's, and construction, local construction companies are going to make a lot of money on this deal. I mean, we're going to be building a baseball stadium at the same time we're building a football stadium on campus. There's cranes everywhere in Tampa. This place is booming. It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. So, let's have a little bit of appreciation for a group that's, like Jeffrey Vinnick, who built Water Street with $3 billion of investment. and is still going. Let's give a little bit of, hey, thank you for coming. Thank you for investing in Tampa. Thank you for saving us from Stu Sternberg. Thank you for actually getting a stadium done. Thank you. St. Pete would be like, hey, thank you for getting us the Trop site back. So now we can build a convention center and all kinds of wonderful things that are actually going to benefit St. Pete instead of suck money out of it, like baseball was doing, costing them money. So this is a win-win for everybody. And I'd really like for us to wrap our arms around these people instead of telling us, writing columns about how great Stu Sternberg is and how much problem these guys are going to have because they weren't able to get it done. What makes think you're going to get able to go? Because we're not them. That's why. Yeah, I mean, can we not get a little bit of positivity here? And by and large, just because I know the new owners listen to the show, and thank you very much, guys. Yes. Appreciate that. 99.9% of the people here are tickled pink. We can't wait for you guys to get started, and we support you. All of these Rays fans, everybody in the chat, the people that watch this show, overwhelmingly want the stadium in Tampa, overwhelmingly support you. The political folks on the Tampa side overwhelmingly support you, except Mr. Woolston, who's going to be a pain in the ass, and he's pretty much just, already started. And there's going to be some pushback, but the vast majority of fans, and Rays fans in particular, who number in the millions here, are going to embrace it and love every minute of it and support it. So there'll be some negativity, but it's coming from one place. 90%, and that's it. Don't need to read it. Don't need to worry about it.
Yeah.
Those days are gone. So thank you. Thank you guys for coming here, for putting your faith in the folks at Tampa Bay. And we now, as the baseball fans, we ain't got any excuses. You're going to have a beautiful state-of-the-art stadium in the middle of the market, accessible to everybody. And so I'm sure some people will bitch, there's traffic. You're going to an effing baseball game. There's going to be traffic. When 40,000 people gather, there's going to be some traffic. Sorry, don't have an express lane from your driveway to the front of the stadium. Sorry, can't do that. You want to get a helicopter, get a helicopter. They'll have a helipad.
Yeah.
So there'll be some traffic, but no worse than the Bucks games. Oh, but what's my route home? What about a Tuesday game when there's a ball game? Take another route.
I don't understand people who worry about stuff like that. Just go see the game and enjoy yourself.
I know but they got the bitchers. Oh, where are we going to park? Right there. There's parking lots everywhere. Uber. Go park at Riveters and Uber. $6. Easy. And you get and you get happy hour. There, I fixed it. Anything else you need? All right, quick break. We'll get back, and Josh Queipo is going to join us. Great breakdown of last week's game and looking ahead to the 49ers. We are brought to you by the great folks at Third Generation Plumbing and American Standard Heating and Cooling, the dynamic duo that will keep your house comfortable and cool in the summer and nice and toasty in our long, snowy winters. It's American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Great folks over there, the most durable, most reliable units, and Third Generation Plumbing, the best in the business at installs and maintenance. ThirdGenerationPlumbing.com is the website. They do AC and anything mechanical in your home. Great folks over there, 5-star reviews, great company. John Rodriguez and the group over there are fantastic. Tell them JP sent you. Back at 3. JP here for Riveters, the official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. We're located just south of Ray J and Steinbrenner Field, so it's a great pre- and post-game spot, and the happy hour is amazing. Monday through Friday, 3 to 7. Check out these specials. $3 Bud Light drafts, $4 domestic bottles, $5 wells, $6 premium wells, $6 cocktails like margaritas. That's unheard of. And the Riveters food is freshly made daily. No freezers. Happy hour food specials include $3.50 tacos and barbecue sliders. $6 you get edamame or chips with the beer cheese, which is amazing. $8 buffalo chicken dip, my favorite. The truffle fries, chili cheese fries, also $8 at happy hour. as well as other specials throughout the week, including Taco Tuesdays, you get $3 tacos, and Wing Wednesdays, 7 o'clock to 1 a.m. in the morning, you get our amazing wings, 5 for $5 and $5 wells and wines. That's a good Wednesday night. So if you're tired of the preppy, overpriced, generic sports bars, come see the amazing, friendly bartenders and staff at Riveters, where customer service really matters. Riveters, just south of where the Rays and Bucks play. We'll see you there. Experience the art of driving at Genesis of Tampa, where luxury meets innovation and every detail is crafted for you. From the bold G70 to the refined GV80, Genesis delivers power, elegance, and technology years ahead of its time. Book service online, and our Genesis Experience advisors will pick you up and drop off your vehicle. If available, you can enjoy a courtesy car while yours gets a complimentary interior vacuum plus a generous offer for your trade. Every new Genesis comes with the Miracle Advantage Plan, 10 years or 250,000 miles of powertrain warranty and 4 years of complimentary maintenance. Visit us at 801 East Bears Avenue or online at genesisoftampa.com. Genesis of Tampa, luxury redefined. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week, so go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com. JP here for my friend Jason Fawcett, owner of On-Site Construction. They do residential and commercial renovations and new construction. As a leading home builder and general contractor, On-Site Construction prides itself on transforming homes through superior craftsmanship, dedication to client vision, and an unmatched commitment to quality and service. It's about building relationships. We take the time to understand our clients' needs, preferences, and budgets so that we can deliver a personalized experience tailored to their unique vision. From the initial designs to the final touches, we're there every step of the way, ensuring that the end result mirrors your vision. Here are some testimonials from happy customers. G. Gibson says, no hidden costs, very honest, reliable, creative, and communicates well. Reasonable and fair with their pricing, no hidden costs. C. Smith said, did not disappoint. I'm very happy with the work. This company really cares and will take care of it. So if you're just thinking about building or renovating, give us a call and let's see what's possible. 813-579-5789 or check out our website at onsiteconstructionfl.com. Are you having legal issues with a business partner or other legal business issues? The attorneys at Walters, Levine & DeGrave can help. Call 800-616-0384 for a free consultation. At Walters, Levine & DeGrave, we've redefined what a law firm can be with top-tier attorneys, personal service, and 26 years of success. From business law to civil litigation, we deliver smart, client-focused solutions. Walters, Levine & DeGrave recently won a $6.4 million jury verdict from a large real estate developer, and they can win for you too. Walters, Levine & DeGrave. Let's solve it together. Not attorney spokesman. For a free consultation, call 800-616-0384 or go to walterslevine.com. Offices Tampa, Sarasota.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
Big thanks to our sponsor there, Walters, Levine & DeGrave. Drew Levine, big Bucs fan. Man, that guy gets. If you want passion from your attorney, that's that dude. Just tell him to treat the insurance company like he treats the Bucs when they pay for him. I absolutely love it. Fantastic. Another great local law firm that cares about Tampa Bay. So Walters, Levine & DeGrave. Also, someone in here, where is he? Has made Robert Brooks. There we go, right there. Reservations for Cafe Paradiso with the wife for our anniversary on Saturday. Thanks
in for a
making
treat.
me aware. Oh my gosh! If you like lasagna, we order Timmy and I, Fitzy and I, whenever we go, we get lasagna as an appetizer and split it up. It's amazing. Then you get the chicken marsala or the veal piccata. That's your favorite, Timmy, right? Oh, so good.
Yeah, the veal piccata just melts in your mouth, man.
Nice Italian Pinot Noir. Oh, so good. Cafe Paradiso, get your reservation just like Robert Brooks did. Yeah.
I'm going to Olive Garden for lunch, JP.
Shut up.
That's all I got here.
What are you going to get? Some of that rubber chicken?
I'm going to get the unlimited, what they call the bottomless pasta bowl.
Yeah, there you go. Rick says T-Kraz and Topkin were giggling yesterday about who was trying to butter up the new ownership. You talking about me? No way new stadium can be done by 2029. Is that what they said? There's no way it can be done.
Or is that what you say,
Listen,
Rick?
I don't. Yeah, are you saying that or did they say that? Are they very skeptical? Very skeptical. We'll see.
I don't know. When all the wheels are spinning and everyone's getting along, you can build a stadium in 18 to 20 months.
That's right.
It's not a big deal.
A lot of these people are brainwashed. They think that since the great Stu Sternberg couldn't get it done, that it could never be done, when it's actually the opposite. Yeah, the Braves did it in 2.5 years. I'm no construction expert. So what I do is I go and I look for precedent. Okay? Has anybody done a stadium in 2.5 years? Oh, the Braves did. Oh, okay. How long did it take to build Globe Life Field?
About 19 months.
19 months. Oh, so we have further precedent that it can be done in less than 3 years. Interesting. But other people know that there's absolutely 100% it can't be done by 2029. They must be construction experts. I'm not. So I just look for history to tell me. So I don't know.
JP, real quick before we get into Josh.
I know is the owners are watching this show. We know
that's
that.
right.
So,
and they're taking notes.
And am I buttering them up? Yes, I am. I'm buttering them up 100% because they deserve it. You can butter up the other guy that you did for 20 years.
See where that
you
gets
got
you.
Nothing done but stuff his pockets. Anyway, moving on.
JP, before you get to Josh, can I bring a comment up here on the screen that I can address?
Yes.
Mike H asked me earlier, Tim, are those blue FanStream hats available to buy? I don't see any merch available on the website. So I am still working on the merch store. That should be up here in the next couple of weeks. But in the meantime, Mike and everyone else, if you're interested in any of the t-shirts or hats, just email me info@fanstreamsports.com and I will get you hooked up.
So I thought we did have a merch store. We did for a while.
Not on the new website. It was on the old one.
The old one.
We got a bunch of new stuff. So we're
okay.
And technically the old one is still there, but it's different stuff. So you want the new stuff.
This new light hoodie.
Yeah.
How about this thing is so nice. And,
yeah, those will be on there too.
Ashley's like, aren't you going to be hot? No, it is so light. It's really, really light. And I like the styling and all of that. So yeah, get one of those. Yeah. Just info@fanstreamsports.com. Is that it?
Yep. And that'll come to me.
Also, if you'd like to advertise or invest or just donate, you can do that too. Mm-hmm. Info. Well, no, if you're going to donate and advertise, JP@thejppetersonshow.com.
Unless it's my show, then you email me.
You email Tim. Correct. We're fighting over money now. Yes.
That's right.
Rick says Topkin was skeptical right away.
I don't know. I guess it's okay to be skeptical if you want, but just do it be positively skeptical, right? Just I don't know. What is your skepticism based on? I would like to know that. Like, why do you think it can't be done?
Their skepticism is based on, well, Stu couldn't get it done. My hero Stu couldn't get it done. So how can anybody get it done? You mean like all over the country and every other owner that's been able to do it? You mean like that? Who's the outlier? Huh.
Yeah.
Huh. I don't know. Figure it out. I mean, yeah. Why? Why are you skeptical? Oh, it can't be done. Why? It's been done in other places. We have precedent. So give me some objectivity. Give me some reasons. Just because you couldn't get it done, that's why. And and you read it in the column. It's like the other group couldn't get it done, but this group still dealing with those problems. They are the problems. What else we got? We got to get to Josh here. JPS is dirty pawn and rehab center going into Raysville. Sanchez can be the head valet. Do you see the video of Sanchez walking down the street bleeding? It's weird. There it is. Bring me your memorabilia. And
he got stabbed. He was bleeding bad, man.
Well, he provoked the whole thing.
I know. I mean, it's a good thing he was drunk because he probably would have died.
All right. Let's get to our Josh Queipo segment here. We do each and every week where Josh breaks down the film from the previous game and looks ahead to the next game. So we had to do this from our homes last night, but it's so good. Even the audio Nazi Tim allowed it to be played today. So
right.
Here you go, our weekly chat with Josh Queipo from the Pewter
All
Report.
right. Late at night, we're recording great interviews here as Josh Queipo for the Pewter Report joins me from our homes, our toasty homes here. You in Atlanta, me in South Tampa, getting ready for I don't know if this one, the 49ers game this week, is going to be able to top what we saw last week. As I said to your boss, Scott Reynolds, that's top 5 most entertaining Bucs games I think I've ever seen. Two quarterbacks that were just scorching hot.
Yeah.
What did you take away from that game against?
It was, there's an old SNL skit from the late aughts, early 2010s. Bill Hader, he would go on to the Weekend Update and he would play this character called Stefan, who was always talking about the latest New York City nightclub. And he would start off with, this club has everything, right? And then say the weirdest stuff in the world. And I can't help but continually think of that bit when thinking about the game against the Seahawks, because that game had everything. The Bucs were up 13-0, looked like they were about to cruise their way towards an easy win in the Pacific Northwest, only to have Seattle come roaring back between that last drive of the first half, first drive of the second half. All of a sudden they're up 14-13, and then it just became a shootout. So it had everything. And that was 2 of the best quarterback performances probably of this year, because Sam Darnold did have a few of those turnover-worthy plays, and obviously the interception at the end really sealed everything. But he was also making, honestly, the more difficult throws, because the corners, like the Bucs pass defense wasn't bad. They just could not, for the life of them, finish the play with the pass deflection, or in Zion's case in the end zone there, turn the pass deflection into a pick, what would have been a pick 6, or the Antoine Winfield one that was called back. But there was a ton of tight coverage. Jacob Parrish, I feel bad for the guy. He had a great game overall. The Seattle receivers were just making some absolutely unbelievable catches. And then on the other side, Baker made some fantastic throws, don't get me wrong, but Ibuka was getting more open, which is funny considering all of the talk about his separation score last week leading into it. He got plenty open in this one.
Yeah, well, because the defensive backs weren't allowed to grab and hold like they were the week before. Which, seriously, I mean, and I went on a rant this week about the inconsistency week to week in officiating, and your league should not be like that. It's not like we have ACC refs and Big Ten refs. They all work for the same league. Last week, you could mug a receiver all the way down the line, upfield, no problem. This week, you couldn't touch him. That's a problem in the NFL. I mean, it really is. And, in Ibuka, I saw a breakdown from Baldy showing the nuances in his route running, the little head turn here, the little head turn there. And it's really belies his rookie status. I mean, this guy is playing receiver like he's a 10-year vet. And that was one of the most incredible games I think I've ever seen. He got open. He was perfect at the top of the routes. He received the ball so well. It was a virtuoso class in being a wide receiver in this league. And it's his 5th game. Yep. I mean, it's just insane. What did you think of his performance?
I thought it was fantastic. Real quick on one of your points, I couldn't agree with you more. The NFL, for a multi-billion-dollar league, to not have full-time refs is an absolute travesty and just, clown show. But back to Ibuka. The posts, I put this out on social media. The way, and it's very specific, I want to make sure I say this before people pile on because they're completely different athletes, but very specific to the way he hits the top of his route on posts reminds me so much of Julio Jones. It's that lean with that little head nod, and then his ability to explode into the stem of the route without losing any speed whatsoever, and creating that separation at the top of the route just reminds me a lot of when I was scouting Julio in preparation for the year that he spent with the Bucs. So just and that's a really good comp. It doesn't get much better than Julio Jones. So he finds space in zones. I was talking with somebody earlier today. He has done almost all of his damage this year against zone coverage, and Seattle runs a ton of zone. And so this was a match made in heaven for him. And the symbiotic relationship he has with Baker, the fact that they are so on the same page is remarkable, like you said, for this to be his fifth game, and something for fans to get really excited about. The matchup this upcoming week against the San Francisco 49ers, a predominantly zone defense. So you can expect more of the same.
Let's talk about Baker a little bit, because this was a virtuoso game. The stats will tell you that. First quarterback in NFL history with 375 yards, 2 touchdowns, and only 4 incompletions. It's never happened before. And I thought he was more off platform than Sam Darnold was. I didn't think the protection was great. I thought he was leaving the pocket a lot and had to. But his awareness when he leaves the pocket and throws downfield with the accuracy and anticipation, that throw he makes to Sterling Shepard moving to his left was, to get that much mustard on a ball into a tight window, moving to your left, and as a right-handed quarterback is impossible to do, but he did it. And there's so many good throws that he had in this game. Your thoughts on his performance?
Yeah, I love that you called that out, because that was the second best roll to the left, make a throw of the day, because he did that in the first quarter to Cade Otton, and that was a designed rollout, right? So you had, what's really cool is you have 2 of these, right? One was designed. One was, him and Grizzard said, what's really crazy? Why don't we just roll you to your non-dominant side and just have you launch a seed, 22 yards downfield? And Baker's like, yeah, I got that. And then later on in the game, he goes, you know what? I'll just go back out there and get the game winner too. So the arm elasticity and the power that he has with that elasticity, everything's on the menu for him. Grizzard can basically just say, hey, I've got this really crazy plan, and Baker can execute it for him. That's what you want from the best quarterbacks in the league, and that's what you expect from the best quarterbacks in the league. And Baker has absolutely entered that conversation as one of the best quarterbacks in the league, because there's no way that a defense can say, well, we don't have to worry about this with Baker. Every way you want to run an offense, he's capable of doing it. And what's really cool this year versus last year, which was a fantastic year, and the year before that, which was a really good year as well, is you're seeing the rookie Baker, the stuff that he did really well as a rookie, come back and be merged with this more veteran quarterback. And that is the deep ball stuff, right? So he already has, I want to say, I looked it up a couple days ago. He has like 56% of the yards he accumulated last year on throws of 20 plus air yards already through 5 weeks this year. And he's throwing downfield at twice the rate he did last year. He's won from a percentage of total throws. He is throwing downfield more than any other quarterback in the NFL, in a league where everybody else is getting reduced. They're bringing it in more. Him and Grizzard are pushing down the field, and they're doing it without their best version of their offensive line. So you have that. And then something that Baker hadn't been really clicking for him the last 2 years is the play action game. And this year, play action is really working for him, and they're starting to lean in more. This past game was the highest amount of play action that they ran this year, and they were almost perfect on all of those play action throws, including that rollout left to Ott. So and that's helping them mitigate some of the offensive line and giving them those deep shots, because the defense can't just put their ears back and go after him, and they're moving the pocket, and they're giving him these opportunities to look downfield and really connect and stretch the defense and threaten them at all 3 levels.
Josh Queipo breaking down the tape for Pewter Report. Let's flip over to the Bucs defense, which, on the surface, 35 points, not a great game, but I might argue otherwise. I'm going to tip my cap to Sam Darnold, Jackson Smith, and Jigba, who was just impossible to cover. They did a lot of really good things. Kenneth Walker III is really good running back. And I thought the defense played well. Now the pass rush maybe not as much, but they were close to receivers. To your point, so how do you square this defensive performance? Which, by the way, if you look at the second half of the Philly game and the first half of the Seahawks game, that's about as good a defense as you can play for 4 quarters.
Yeah, it's interesting, JB. They keep putting together really good halves, but never a good game, right? They can't. The Jets, first half of the Jets game, and then, like you said, the last half of the Eagles game. And I agree with you that there were some strong performances from this defense, and I think there are a lot of mitigating factors, right? So you mentioned the pass rush. Darnold dropped back 34 times. 16 of those were qualified as quick throws, so throws in 2.5 seconds or less, right? Across the NFL, this isn't just the Bucs, right? Across the NFL, there have been something like 2,500 throws or plays that ended in less than 2.5 seconds, pass plays, dropbacks. How many sacks do you think there have been in those 2,500 plays?
100?
7.
Jesus. Wow.
So 34 of Darnold's, he had 34 dropbacks. 16 of those are quick throws. You basically are guaranteed you're not going to get a sack in that situation. Another 9 are play action. We just talked about how the Bucs use play action to mitigate the pass defense. So now you're at 25 of his 34 throws where you're basically in a position where the defense, there's almost no expectation of a sack. That leaves 9 dropbacks where they have an opportunity. It's the way that they are being game planned against, because Bowles brings the blitz, because they are the highest pressure defense.
Interesting.
Well, they have faced quick throws the second highest rate. It's Houston at 64%, and then the Bucs at like 61%. Houston only has 12 sacks on the season. The Bucs only have 10 sacks, right? And nobody's talking about that Houston edge group that, hey, they should get rid of Will Johnson and Danielle Hunter. So it's just really good offensive game planning, and Clint Kubiak right now maybe at the head of that list with what he's been doing with Seattle's offense this year, and it's a very good offense. Where I think the Bucs did struggle, and I agree with you in terms of the pass defense, for by and large, Zion had a bad game, but otherwise Tyke, Antoine, Jacob, going back and looking at it, they were all in position. Just JSN is a top 5 receiver in the NFL right now and played like it in that game. Where the Bucs struggled was in run defense. And I thought it was a mediocre game from Vita in terms of run defense. Logan Hall actually had a pretty good game, but that Seattle run game is starting to get rolling. That's going to be a train by the end of the year. And one of the things that really, really hampered them in run defense is Servassier Dennis. That may have been the worst game of the year, and that's saying something for that guy. So there were 3 or 4 reps where there was a handoff, and Servassier decided at the beginning of the rep that it was going to be play action. And as a linebacker, you're supposed to read your run key first. He was running out to cover a pass on a handoff.
Yeah, that was the Charbonneau touchdown.
Yeah, that was one of them. There were a few others. I mean, his one saving grace up until this point is he's played the run pretty well.
Yeah.
He's just been really exposed against better athletes in space as a pass defender. If you can't defend the run or the pass, why are you out there? And it's getting to, I would say, a boiling point at some point. They may have to make a decision and say, let's see what we've got with Deion Jones, because if it continues like that, they got to get him off the field.
Any shot for Bullock to get some time?
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I think they'd probably go with Deion Jones before they go with Bullock, and they may be trending in that direction, because there were a couple. They pulled Servassier off the field for, I want to say, around 5 or 6 snaps. So Jones was starting to get some run in place of him, and that trend may continue if he doesn't make a quick turnaround.
You got some grandpas in the linebacker room for sure. All right, let's this guy's starting behind you. All right, let's turn our attention to the 49ers, who are probably the only team in the league as banged up as we are. and they've lost some key pieces already. I don't know if it's going to be Purdy or Mac Jones this week. I don't think it really matters because Mac Jones is playing at such a high level. What should the Bucs defense expect this week?
Yeah, I would say Shanahan is a master manipulator of space. He finds ways to create space both in the run game and in the pass game, and it's going to be a huge. I think it's going to be a huge game for the linebackers in terms of what's being asked of them, because Shanahan is going to try and isolate them, and he is going to try and make them have to cover every square inch of grass. So that's the real key there. And Shanahan, again, he's one of the best game planners or week-to-week game planners. And so I would imagine, especially if it's Mac Jones, they are going to go with that quick game. So it's not the same 49ers offense that it was 10 years ago with a ton of wide zone. They've moved to more of a gap-based, counter-based type of run attack. So what the Bucs will see in the run game will be similar to what they try and implement with their own run game. So again, the linebackers are going to be extremely important in this game, and that worries me.
Yeah. Well, they've had good success against Christian McCaffrey for the most part, though, right?
They have, but I think Shanahan's going to have to get very creative in how they use him. You'll see him split out wide probably more than you ever have. They'll probably go with some 21 package where they can move him around as a chess piece, and it'll be interesting to see how Bowles responds. If they're in 21, even if it's not Juszczyk, which they do a lot, but I could see them doing 21 with him and another running back, and it'll be interesting to see how Bowles responds. Will he stay in 11 personnel? I'm sorry, not 11, but nickel, or will he keep a base? What I think could be really interesting is going back to some of that Atlanta game plan. So in Atlanta, the Bucs went with a true 4-3 with Hassan Reddick as a stack linebacker, as an off-ball guy. And then they can move Reddick around and they can use him in coverage because he's been phenomenal in coverage against that 21 personnel. That's what I would hope to see, because the Bucs went to some true 4-3 stuff this past week against the Seahawks, but it was their traditional four rushers. So Vita, Logan Hall on the inside, Reddick and Yaya on the outside. And then they went with three traditional inside linebackers, Levante, Deion Jones, and Servassier. I would prefer you pull one of those traditional off-ball guys off, kick Reddick up to the second level, and bring in another pass rusher, whether you want to do a heavy end with Elijah Roberts, or maybe you bring on Anthony Nelson or Chris Braswell. So it's an interesting – I hope that's what we see against that. Bowles will make that decision, and it'll be something I'm looking out for.
Isaiah McCollum was seen in a sling and a cast today, like we needed to lose another corner. So hopefully Jamel Dean can come back. We'll see. But the hits just keep on coming for the injuries on this team. And it all seems like it goes to one position,
Yeah, it's really like, and it's especially that defensive back room. Like, they can never get that entire room healthy for even like a 5-week stretch. But I have a crazy idea. I put it out there on social media. This clip is going around from the Seahawks game. You may remember it. Vita dropping into coverage and breaking up a pass, right? And so it got me thinking. And I went and did some research, and per Pro Football Focus, Vea has allowed just 0.3 yards per coverage rep in his career. And since 2023, I checked with Next Gen Stats on this. Since 2023, when Vea's been targeted, he's allowed negative 3.1 yards per attempt. So if McCollum's out and Dean's out and Morrison's out and Izian's out, buddy, let's put Vea out on the island.
Well, it'd be hard to get off the jam, that's for sure. I mean, just having to run around him is going to take some time.
It's going to get guys off their route. That's right.
just reroute them. Oh, well, no problem with that. They got to go around freaking Mount Rushmore before I get into my pattern. I I like where you're going with this.
Gotta get creative.
All right,
Positionless football.
Josh, great stuff as always. Appreciate your time. Read all of his great analysis on the Pewter Report, pewterreport.com. Thanks, partner.
Absolutely, JP. Have a good one.
Oh, that was a surprise. Vita Vea in coverage. Yeah, I like that idea. We'll see who's healthy this. I'm getting ready to go over to Bucs right now.
Probably surprise the offense, too.
Yeah, indeed. You never know with Bowles what he's going to do. He's a mad scientist for sure. Couple really quick notes here. Marty Aaron says, excellent breakdown on the defense. Yeah, Josh is absolutely fantastic. And Rick says, did you see JP's eyes glisten when describing Baker's throw on the run? Reminded him of fourth grade. Oh, it's my go-to. I'm going to brag a little. I was an all-pro at every sport in elementary school. Breaking news. Belichick is out.
I have yet to
is this
confirm
final?
that. I have yet to confirm that.
Yeah, shocking development. Not here, that's for sure. Surprised he lasts this long. All right, guys, thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate you. Great job, Tim. Thank you all for all the comments. Hopefully we got to most number. Thanks to Joey Johnston, who joined us from the car. I love that.
Yeah, that was great.
And the great Brian Bradley, who joined us from Benchmark International Arena for tonight's Lightning opener. Cannot wait for that tonight. I will see you all there. If you're going, please come up and say hello and tell me that you listen to the show and that you hate it or love it. And of course, Josh Queipo. We will see you all tomorrow. Hopefully a victory Friday for the Lightning.